Okay, did a video yesterday and said I probably won't be doing a whole lot because it's hot outside. So it's the next day, so of course now I'm going to be doing something. Just the way it goes. So I don't know if you can see it too well right now because of the grass here, but this is a swale we've been cutting for the last couple of years. And so what we want to do is, let me pan around. Of course, the tractor's in the way. But what we want to do is take this swale and extend it all the way over to the end of the property. So let me go over there and show you. Okay, this is an existing swale that separates our property from our neighbors. Our property's on the left. And so what I want to do is the swale ends just on the other side of the tractor. I want to continue it over and take it over here. Now the reason I want to do this is twofold. Is first of all, when we get our monsoon rains, it breached the swale when we got 2.5 inches of rain in about 45 minutes. And so if we extend the swale, it can hold more water. But that's not the main reason why we're wanting to do this. The main reason is we had our blueberries over here, and the blueberries need to be in berms about 12 to 18 inches above the ground. And so the Alright, sorry about that. They're doing a bunch of stuff in the field across the street and it's distracting me. So we need a bunch of dirt in order to make these berms, and blueberries need a very low pH. They need the pH of the ground in this area is about 5.5, which is perfect for blueberries. Well, where we normally get our dirt is over at the tree line over there, and that has about a 7 pH, which is not going to work. But we have all of this nice dirt right here, which is about a 5.5 pH, so that will work perfectly. So I'm going to cut the swale, and then I'm going to move the dirt, put the dirt over here in 2 berms, and then we're going to plant the blueberries back. And then while all this is going on, we might or might not actually get our pine tree mulch. So we'll keep our fingers crossed about that. And so the first step is, let me walk over to the tractor. All right, last year when I was doing this swale, I tried several different things. I got the backhoe on top of the tractor. I cut a trench down, all the way down. And then somebody suggested to take the tiller, put one tire tractor in the hole and put the other one obviously not in the hole, and do it with the tiller. That really didn't work out because it just distributed dirt. It didn't really do anything with the dirt. Then this past winter, I took our middle buster right here, which is basically just a small plow, and I cut a trench with the middle buster, which was significantly easier than faster than doing the backhoe. And then I took our box blade over here, and the box blade levels ground. And so I stuck one tire tractor, in the hole that I just created, and then the other tire tractor was outside of the hole, so it created an angle. And then with that angle, I used the box blade, and then it would fill this up with dirt, and then I was able to collect the dirt and then move it around. So that's what I'm wanting to do now. So first step is to make the trench with the middle buster itself. So I'm going to go do that, and then we will come back. Okay, middle buster is done. As you can see, just looks like a big plow hole going through there. And so I ran over it twice because I didn't want to get too deep in one pass. But as you can see, that's going to make a nice little trough for the tractor to go through. So next step, which will be tomorrow, will be the box blade. So I was able to get the box blade on, so the middle buster's sitting over here. I wanted to keep it over here in case I needed it, so I didn't have to travel all the way back to go get it. And so I put the tractor back in its home tonight, and here's all the blueberries. The ones in the front here have been here for, I don't know, about 3 weeks now, and the other 2, or the other 12, we've done in the last day. So they're sitting in fabric pots right now on top of our plastic pallets. So when we're ready to move them back, I'll just pick them up with the pallet forks and then just bring them over to their new home. So, yep, there's the new line. Andre's not here right now, so hopefully when she gets back, she'll see the line because it'll probably be dark by the time she gets back. So anyway, and Ern is complaining in the chicken coop for some reason. But it's Ern. As I always say, a complaining Ern is a happy Ern. And so that's it for tonight. It's beautiful weather. Humidity is finally going down a little bit from the tropical storm over the weekend. So anyway, enough rambling. I'm going to let the guys out and see what happens. Oh, there's Sherlock. And, oh, there they go. All right, well, they know I already closed the gate, so they're not going in a big area. So anyway, done for tonight. Next up is going to be box blading. Okay, I'm on the tractor now, and I'm going to do the first swath with the box blade. So I'm going to try to do this with one hand on the tractor and try to film this on the back. So we'll see how that works out. And box blade is right there, and so I already have it set. And so on the side over here is my 3-point hitch heights. If it all, there we go. And so on flat ground, before I got in the little trench here, it said it was a 4 for just flat ground. So that's what I'm going to try to mimic right now. So let's see if I can actually do this and do the video at the same time to try to see what the box blade is doing. So there's the box blade right there. So let me get everything ready and then we'll come back. Okay, so here we are from the front. The wheels are in the trench, and so here we go. So this is what it looks like from the front. So let's switch over to the back. Alright, here's the box blade here. So, see what it's doing? It's just grabbing the dirt and going through like this. Now I'm going to have to run over this more than once. And then what I'm going to do is, we'll call that good right there. I'm going to lift it all the way up, push it back a little bit, come through, put it back down, go back, plug it back into the hole, and then start again. So basically that's what I'm going to do for this whole thing. So I'll come back when I'm done. Okay, first round is done. As you can see, I got some dirt here. This is obviously not as deep as I want it, so I'll probably have to get the middle buster back on and go down again. So this is just going to be a cutting process until I get the right depth that I need. But I think this is a good start here. So now I'm going to take all this dirt and I'm going to put it over there where the blueberries are going to go. Okay, this is how far I've gotten so far. All I've done is that I've just been cutting the ground with the front end loader with the bucket. So this is where I stopped right here. And so just to give you how much dirt that is so far, I have done the entire line of the one row. What I don't know is how straight this is, so I guess we'll figure this out together. I put my destroyed T-post here because that's where the first blueberry was. So that's not that bad. So I have put basically 2 scoops all the way here. I put a line down like I did right there, and then I offset so halfway in between the scoop that I did the first time, I put another scoop on top. So all this is with 1 scoop, and all of this is with 2 scoops. So I'm going to go in now because the sun is coming out and I am not prepared for the sun right now. Plus I've been out here for a while and it's hot, so I'm going to go in. But so far it looks good. So I have to finish all of this side up, which I'm going to put in the back row, and then I'm going to come back in, do the same thing to the other side, and then to create the far side, then I'll come back in with the box blade again and try to level this out a little bit, try to get some of the tractor tire tracks and some of the bumps and all that out of there. So it's a process, but considering this could be done by hand, this is going by fairly quickly. So, and the fact that my dirt supply is fairly close to where I need to dump it is also good too, because my travel time with the tractor is not that long. So I call that good. So one of the things on the long-term list is to get some sort of dump trailer so I can dump stuff into a dump trailer and then take it around the property easier, but that's not going to happen anytime soon. It's on the wish list. So all right, I'm going to go in and then come back out in a little bit. Okay, it's been a couple of days later and this is, at least this part is done. And Mother Nature decided that it was going to throw some severe thunderstorms at us. So I had to stop for like a day or so to let the ground dry out a little bit. But here's the path as of right now. Next thing I'm going to do is take the box blade and try to clean this up a little bit. But as you can tell, we have a nice little swale here. And then while I'm walking over to the existing swale, I've kind of pushed the dirt back a little bit so then I can be able to take the box blade and hopefully merge it into the existing swale over here. And so that's next up for that. Then here are the 2 lines. Let me go back a little bit. So here's the line here. So I'm pretty impressed on how actual straight that was. I was afraid I was going to be doing some drunk scooping and dumping, where it's going to be more like a snake instead of like a line. And then here's the second line here. So this is what I did this morning. So this ended up being pretty straight also. Now right now this is about 2 feet tall at the peak, and so as soon as I get done moving the dirt, I'm going to take a rake through here and try to level this out a little bit, try to level the top out a little bit, and then level the sides out. And so this is what it looks like right now. Now where the existing blueberries were ended up being about right here. And so on the back side, we determined that we would just continue it over if we had extra dirt. And so we have a little bit of extra dirt here. Now the way we did these blueberries initially is the 2 rows were 10 feet apart, and then the blueberries were 6 feet within the row. So we ended up with 9 blueberries on each side right now, and then more if we get some in the future. Andrea likes to collect blueberry plants for some reason, so we'll probably end up with more at some point. And so this is how it is right now. And then we're supposed to be getting our load of mulch today. So we shall see. Hopefully we can actually get it today. Because then after we get done doing this, and after we get done doing the putting the blueberries back, then we can start doing the mulch, but it's TBD on the mulch. So this is where I am now. Now I'm going to box blade that part. Okay, the last scraping and my compressing of the ground just by running over it with the tractor is now done. So that's what it looks like right now. So there's a little bit of bumps and stuff in there, which I can live with that. When I run over it with the lawnmower in the future, it'll make some of that a little more level. So that I'm good with that, because the same thing happened with the other swale. So I'm going to call this a success. And supposedly in about an hour or so, we're supposed to get our truckloads of mulch. So until they actually get here, I'm not counting it as a yes. But I'm going to go take the tractor back now. I'm going to go get a rake and then start raking this so we can start putting the blueberries back. Because the blueberries, believe it or not, really don't like it over here. And so I'm going to go do that now. And so I got the middle buster sitting on the front, so hopefully it'll do that. So count this a pretty good success. So I was able to do what I want, which was get dirt from over here, put it over there, which is about the same pH as what the blueberries need, and go from there. So now I'm just going to drive back, get the rake, go in for a little bit, and then start messing with the berms themselves. Okay, and the trucks are leaving right now. So we are the proud owner of 2 loads of pine mulch. So we're going to take all of this and we're going to put it over there. And so it's been raining a lot lately, so it's really wet right now, as you can see. But for obvious reasons, I'm really excited. So this is not something that you get at like a landscape company or something. This is just raw, mulched up pine trees that people are just, when they're taking land down that have trees on it and turning it into not tree land. And so they mulch the trees up, and so that's what this is. And so I'm really excited right now. So this happened about an hour or so after I finished my 2 lines here. I went back in with the rake and just kind of topped it a little bit. So now it's not as bad. Might top it again, but this is really exciting. If it wasn't so hot, I'd be a lot more exuberant right now, but it's like a 90 something degrees with 80 something % humidity, so it's like unbearable out here right now. But yep, here we go. Next thing we got to do is put blueberries back, and then I get to start shoveling all of this stuff and sticking it back where where our new and improved beds are. So I'm gonna be quiet now, go inside and start tackling this later when it's a little cooler. Okay, all of the blueberries are in their positions and they have all been watered at least 2 or 3 times already. And I was going to start putting the mulch on, but it's literally 100 degrees out right now with a heat index of probably about 120, so I'm not doing it right now. Hopefully it can cool off a little bit later, and then I can start dumping some of that over here. But I just wanted to show that the blueberries are up and have been watered. And so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the lawnmower and scalp all of this with the lawnmower as much as possible to eliminate as many weeds as possible before I start putting the mulch down. But like I said, I'm not doing that right now because it's hot. And so Sherlock and Lady Pants had to come outside with me, even though it's 100 degrees outside. So there you go. So anyway, blueberries are up. They look nice. And next step is starting to put the mulch down. And just like that, all the mulch is gone. And so this is what it looks like right now. And so I put mulch in, obviously, on the mounds itself. We mulched the entire center area because I'm going to try to see about not mowing that. And then around the perimeter to give a little bit of buffer. As you can see, the mulch is pretty thick, and so it works out really well. And then here's the blueberry plants themselves. Andrea wants to water these for about a week or 2, make sure they get acclimated properly, because this is not exactly the best time of year to be moving blueberries. But so far looks like they're doing pretty good. And so the timeline was, we got the mulch on Saturday. Saturday evening is when I finished the swale slash berms. And then Sunday morning we planted all the blueberries back. That was kind of not fun because we did it first thing in the morning, so it was like 7:30 in the morning. We were out here planting the blueberries, and just planting these 18 blueberries back felt like we were out here like all day long. And I was so hot and sweaty, I had to go in and take a shower, and it wasn't even 8 o'clock in the morning yet. But that's the fun of living down here. But anyway, I wanted to show this one right here especially, and that one right there. They were 2 of the ones that were sitting in the pots for the longest, and for whatever reason these 2 decided that they were not loving life. And so at one point I thought we lost this plant, but it looks like it's starting to get some leaves back to it, so maybe we didn't lose it. So I think Andrea and I will come back later and see what's actually dead and not dead on this. so we could clean it up a little bit. This one also had all of its leaves gone, but as you can see, it came back. So it's actually doing well. And so looking here at the leaves themselves, the leaves look nice and healthy. They don't look like they're deprived of anything right now. And so I'll call that good. And so we were told that they needed to be about 18 inches off the ground, and it was. And then we had some dirt left, which I'll get to in a minute. The good thing is the blueberries needed to be about 6 feet apart, and the bucket width on the tractor was about 4 feet. So I was able to do a scoop, then bring the scoop over, and then dump the scoop right at the top of the berm, and then it just fell down on both sides. And so that's how I got it all the way up on the berms. And then on the back side, I'll get to that in a minute, I had the swale that I had to deal with. But it looks like, based off of this, we can end up with 1, 2, probably 3 more on the front, and probably about 5 more on the back. The reason why there's more on the back than the front is the only way I could really get to this was from this side over here with the tractor. And all right. Yeah, Sherlock doesn't know it yet, but he's probably going to be getting a bath this afternoon because he does that a lot and he has dirt all over him. So that's called a Springer sprawl. Okay, so enough dog distractions. But anyway, it would be a lot easier to add dirt in the future if this backside was longer than the front side. Because when I did all of this, I did all this back berm first, and then I went in and did the front berm. And so I don't have a problem with it being like this, and then we can add on to it later if we need to, because we can just grab some more dirt and make that swale a little bit deeper. Now this swale over here, I had to come in and meander the tractor into the swale in order to dump the dirt on this side, and it actually wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be pretty bad to do that, but it wasn't. But I was able to do all of this side, and so I was happy about that. And so now it's just a waiting game to see how the blueberries are actually going to be doing. So part of the reason of doing this is so I can document how the blueberries are right now, so then we can look at them in like a month or two and see if they're actually doing better or the same or worse or whatever. They should be doing better because their feet, aka their roots, won't be getting wet. But I can show you how our figs are doing while I'm over here. All right, here's our big fig tree. We planted that earlier in the year. So as you can tell, the leaves are nice and dark green. There's a lot of leaves. There's a lot of figs on this tree. So I think the figs are ready. I don't know too much about figs, so Andre and I will have to do some research. But even the 2 small ones here, because that big one was $50, obviously because it was so big. These I think were $15 each, but even these things are doing really well. And as you can tell, they have a lot of figs on them too. But I wanted to show the figs because it's just evidently a blueberry thing to not want to be in the ground, because the figs are in the ground and they're obviously loving life right now. And so we've had the figs, I think we did these in like March or something, And so we had gotten fig trees before at like Tractor Supply, and they did not do well at all. So these, I think, are obviously doing a lot better. And here comes some more concrete trucks. One of our neighbors down there is evidently getting some concrete work done, because this is the 5th truck that's coming through. So they've been coming in pairs, so there should be another one probably behind it here in a few seconds. So I'll be curious to see what in the world he's doing over there. So anyway, I call this a success, and hopefully with all this mulch you can keep the pH nice and low, and hopefully you can keep the weeds out. So we shall see. So anyway, done rambling on this, and very happy about how this turned up. And it went a lot quicker than I thought, because I hate doing this type of stuff in the middle of the summertime.